evening, everybody. You've got me in my pajamas again. Pajama Mondays with Jack. I could get used to this. Sorry, I have to keep my voice down. My house is asleep, so I hope you can hear me okay. We are talking about quite a nice question this week. I really like this one. Had some fun with it, as you're about to see. The question is, do other people's perceptions of your gender identity bother you? Does it motivate you to express yourself in ways you might not otherwise think of expressing yourself? So, I tried to answer this question a couple different ways, and I sort of settled upon this. Do other people's perceptions of my gender identity bother me? Yes, but I should specify. It bothers me most when people who know about my gender identity and who try to accept it get it wrong, as it were. My best friends, my closest friends are very accepting and supportive of me being genderqueer. But when they either don't sort of put in the right kind of effort into knowing what that means, or don't ask the questions that they need to and then misinterpret it, that's when it bothers me the most. So I think here I'm differentiating between gender presentation and gender identity. People's perceptions of my gender presentation at this point don't bother me. I really can't be fucked. I've been presenting androgynously throughout my life. It's who I am. And it's been an issue in my life, or something I've thought about for years, so it's whatever. Gender identity has only sort of recently surfaced over the past few years, so it's people's perception of my gender identity that I want to get at. I think because gender identity is a less talked about subject than sexuality, people don't really have a framework to work from. So when I come out to them as being genderless or genderqueer or just non-binary, they make their own assumptions about what that means rather than having a sort of societal norm to deal with this news. So I think most of all, I want to help my friends and family sort of see my gender identity as part of my daily life, to sort of fix this. And I think I am sort of pushed out of my comfort zone, motivated to express myself in ways that I might not normally do when I'm trying to rectify this and try to help people see my gender identity from my perspective, by actually talking about my gender identity. You might think, well, Jack, you are the Monday person on Genderqueer Chat. You talk about your gender at least once a week. You certainly think about it quite a bit, probably more than is healthy for you. Why would talking about your gender identity be something that is out of the ordinary for you? Well, truth is, viewers, you very special folk on the internet are the people that I speak to most often about my gender. The people who I'm out to, I try not to talk about it with, because, and I often feel uncomfortable talking about it with, because I just sort of see it as, a bit of just a take it or leave it fact about me. And when I'm talking about being genderqueer, people who aren't genderqueer, I sort of feel as though I'm exposing myself, and also talking about sort of like an exotic bit of myself with genderqueer people, and trans people. It's more like, oh yes, this is part of our daily life, let's talk about it. All the fun that entails being genderqueer and being trans entails. With people who aren't, it's like, I need to explain myself, I need to defend myself, and that's often not how I want to feel with my friends. So I think I put myself out there in a way that I don't usually when I try to fix or make clear to the people that I care about what my gender identity is actually like. So, here are a few things that I do to actively encourage people to get the idea of non-binary gender into their heads, and to sort of make my gender identity accessible and everyday to my friends and family. And you may find these useful. You may find these slightly offensive, like, oh Jack, why would you want to make your gender every day sparkle and be magical and genderqueer and be proud of that? Well, viewers, I'm dull. So here are some things I do that are slightly out of my comfort zone, but things I want to do to make being genderqueer, accessible to other people. Step 1. Refer to me by my preferred name if possible, or not at all, if not possible. I go by 2 names at the moment. This is a very, very confusing, irritating, not preferable. If you have the chance to have an androgynous nickname tacked onto yourself, get on that immediately, because let me tell you, it is a pain to have 2 different names and associated with 2 different genders. So, for those friends of mine who I'm out to as genderqueer, I've also mentioned to them that I have another name I've written in that I prefer, but as I'm sort of not out to everybody as I'd like to be yet, I prefer that you just didn't. If it's in a public setting, you just don't use my name, and please just stop using my birth name. And if we're one-on-one, then please use my preferred name. Use preferred names. 2. Don't use gendered forms of address. Avoid sir or ma'am, and just for fun, see how long you can go in the day hanging out with me without using gendered pronouns, especially for hanging with another person and you need to speak about me in the third person. Also, try using they and notice that it's actually quite natural, and people often don't blink or sort of go, when you refer to me as they. So use ninja third gender pronouns. Also, with my very best friends, it's quite common for people, for us to go around calling each other girl to me, which I actually don't mind so much, because I call my male friends girl when they're being ridiculous. But with 2 of my closer friends, we've actually amended this to churl, which is a blend of child and girl. Churl is actually delightfully not gendered, and it's a great term of endearment that is not gendered. 3. Go shopping with me. Help me pick out an outfit from all sides of the store, and try to pick out an outfit yourself. I've brought a couple friends shopping with me, male and female friends, and just sort of been like, okay, we're going to go shopping from a genderqueer point of view today and see how that is. And they usually find it quite fun. I've challenged one of my male friends. I've said, okay, you are going to build yourself an outfit today, but you have to get at least one thing out from the female side of the store, something that you would feel comfortable in that you'd wear. And even though he's not particularly femme or exposed to the idea of cross-dressing and actually found a nice jumper, and it was only £5. Well done, Charlie. 4. Play the toilet game. Note that one should do this in a safe setting where everybody feels comfortable and you wouldn't feel as though you'd get sort of beaten up by going into the wrong restroom, which is a common feeling with most trans people. So if a cisgendered person wants to experience that, go to a sketchy rest stop and play this game. Don't actually do that. Worth talking about, maybe if you're at a restaurant or whatnot, see if with what you have available to you, so your friend's clothes, your clothes, makeup, that's something you have in your bag or whatnot, see if you can feasibly change your appearance enough, just at a restaurant or at the mall or whatnot, see if you can change your appearance to make yourself feel comfortable enough to go into an opposite-sex toilet. Again, do this only if you feel safe, because it is, very difficult and scary to use the wrong restroom. But if you feel like having a bit of fun and you sort of want to experience one of the daily difficulties that a trans or genderqueer person might feel, just try doing this. I've had some people say to me before, well, this is a lot offensive to trans people because it's sort of making light of something they had to go through every day. But when I've done it with friends before, I've felt that it's sort of opened their eyes, a little bit more, because it puts them in a situation where they, have to question and identify and think about their own gender and their own gender presentation. So it's good to do. And on that note, that is my list of ways that I help change people's perception of my gender identity. The people who hire me should know how I perceive myself, and those are some fun, interactive ways to do so, I think. So on that note, I will see you next week, and I really hope you can hear me because this is a really quiet video. Bye.